What's up? I'm Shaggy the Opinionated Hippie, and this is part 5 of my reviewing and ranking Moe's Warts and All. Hence, I'm on volume 5, a complete show from, when is the complete show? February 22nd, 2005. And this release right here is the reason I wanted to review all the Warts and All, mainly because I wanted to talk about this one and hopefully get people who have not checked out Moe or not checked out this release to check out this release. This is a perfect jam band release. This is a perfect show. It is perfect if you're a Moe fan, if you're a jam band fan, if you love guitar solos, if you love improvisational music. Like, I have zero complaint. I have one complaint about this show. It will come at the end when we get to the encores. Other than that, this show, this release is fantastic. It is a complete show, Des Moines, Iowa. And it's 2 sets. The entirety of the first set is on disc 1. Disc 2 and 3 take up the entirety of the second set. No fillers on this one. And what we get in the first set, we essentially get 3 pairs of songs, each segueing from one into the other, in a perfectly balanced first set. I'll get to that in a second. The second set is the greatest segue fest ever. From the time song 1 starts to the time the set ends, many long times later, the set 2 is 29, 47, 50, 55-ish, and then a half hour. Yeah, the second set is like close to 2 hours long, and it's not one long song, but it's all segues. At no point do they stop playing. It is fantastic. Set 1 opens up with, so you get 3 pairs of songs in this one. The first pairing is Bring You Down, a sort of Neil Young type rocker that I think you could have heard on like On the Beach or Time Fades Away or something from like the early 70s type chunky rocker that has this like 8-9 minute guitar solo, an Al guitar solo that is just, it is just such an incredible journey. It is for the most part this like static. It's not like this, we start slow and build up and build up. It's just from the beginning, just has this narrative drive about it, has this focus. Like, you just don't want it to end. It's like this long journey down a river, and the river's kind of bumpy, but not too crazy. It's almost like a, well, how do you rate rapids? It's like a level 2 rap, maybe a 1 rap. No, a 2 rapid, where like you gotta, it's still gonna be some rapids in there and some bumps, but they're not too crazy, and pretty much anybody can handle it. And it's got some nice highs, but it never really goes low. And it is just one of the most awesome, exhilarating journeys. It is just such a beautiful, beautiful, well-constructed guitar solo. And the entire band is supporting Alan. It's just absolutely amazing. After the solo, they go back into the song. And then there's a really nice couple minutes at the end when they're segueing into Shoot First, which is the next song, which is there's no real jamming in Shoot First, but the segue from Bring You Down into Shoot First is pretty interesting. And that's like the first 20 minutes of the show, like a 13-minute Bring You Down into like a 7+ minute Shoot First. Fantastic. The next pairing is Captain America, in which we get the nice long guitar solo after the final verse, and that guitar solo carries us in to a new song. I think this is only the second time they ever performed it off their album, The Conch, called She. Fantastic song. It's about Al's daughter, but the guitar solo in this is just, it's weird, it's aggressive, it's funky. The percussion, the elements are like almost like antagonistic, and it's got a very sort of brashness about it. But there's a moment in this solo where it almost just becomes white noise because everybody is playing at such a fury. And it is just, only the second time they play this, it's like a 5-minute song. They turn it into a 15-minute epic. It is just, the solo is amazing. The solo from Captain America into She is amazing. And when they kind of downshift to get into She, and then Al plays the opening chords of She, and then we go into the song. It's kind of a funky song. She, it's about his daughter being jealous about his son, who's a little older. Neat little lyrics. But the solo, The jam, the band synergy in this is fantastic. And that's another like 25 minutes of just epic, epic music. And then the set closes out with Why Oh Why, another Chuck Garvey song, just like Shoot First, which is pretty much a standard song, always played the same way, almost the same time. This neat little breakdown in the middle where Chuck has to like play up the fret and down the fret at the same time, or a fretboard. It's kind of a cool little run. You can hear the band teasing him like, you can do it, don't mess it up, don't mess it up. And then that goes into George, which I think is about George Bush. This awesome little tight little dun rocker that has this great little tight bass groove that keeps it going. George came out of another song called McBain, in which they took like the awesome groove of McBain and dropped some of the proggier stuff and just tightened it up a little. This one has another exhilarating, really long guitar solo in it. The whole thing's like 16 minutes. The Y-O-Y George combination itself is about 24 minutes. The segue from Y-O-Y into George is fantastic. But that's the first set. And it's like, what, over an hour long. And it's well balanced because the first pairing is an epic guitar solo into a short Chuck Garvey song. Then we get two kind of meaty guitar solo based songs in the middle, which Garvey gets his Captain America solo, Al gets his She solo. That's in the middle. Then the last part, you get another Garvey song, marrying Shoot First, going into another epic jam that mostly features Al. Perfectly balanced set. Guitar solos like crazy, segues like crazy, jams like crazy. It is an absolutely amazing hour plus of music. Then we get to the second set. Second set opens with Spine of a Dog, a common Mo song, which usually is paired a lot of times with a song called Buster. So you get Spine of a Dog into Buster, very common pairing. The segue from Spine into Buster is usually pretty cool. Goes some dark places. A lot of times they flirt with like some Middle Eastern tonalities that are really awesome. But this Spine of a Dog, when they end the solo, it kind of gets a little bit softer, and you hear like notes of a song called Mexico, which has this neat little dun 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 like opening vibe. It's a little bit lighter than like kind of the darkness that they would flirt with Buster. And they eventually go into a Mexico. They go into a 21-minute Mexico that just has this rollicking, awesome jam at the end, awesome solo at the end. The intro into Mexico is really cool. And so by the time we're finished with Mexico, the Spine of a Dog Mexico combination is we're close to 30 minutes. We're like at the 29-minute mark. Mexico, then as it ends, it starts to get this like rolling, sort of rollicking drum beat. And before you know it, we're in the song Plane Crash. Plane Crash has this awesome opener, this nair, 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 this like arpeggiated chord, like really heavily distorted that sounds like a plane crashing. It's got this ominous vibe about it. They skip that whole thing and they go right into the sort of rolling verses. But when we get to that riff later in the song, it hits with a little more heaviness because we haven't had it before, which makes for me this song a much more, I think it just works a little better. Still not the biggest fan of the jam in here because it tends to be a little static and it tends to be controlled by this drum riff that's going on. But this one kind of stretches out a little more, has a little more different flavors. I think it's a little more fun than your normal Plane Crash. You get 18 minutes of Plane Crash, and then we go back into Spine of a Dog. We get another verse chorus. I don't know if Spine of a Dog really has verses or choruses, but we get some more vocals from Spine of a Dog. Then we have an outro solo from there going into Yoda Little. And then we get a 28-minute Yoda Little. And Yoda Little, silly little lyrics that are really fun to sing because of all the L's. Yo, Yoda little lady that I love. L's are fun to sing, just like that Werewolves of London line. Little old lady got mutilated late last night. Love a good L alliteration. But Yoda Little is one of the most, the interplay between the two guitar players and the bass player Rob. It's just this tapestry of, there's so many great licks and riffs and motifs and jams and moments of like almost ambient space that come in and that building solo with that awesome sort of uplifting sort of melody. Like there are so many parts of Yoda Little. It has this very amorphous, free-flowing quality where you know they're going to hit certain points at any given Yoda Little, but sometimes it just takes them so long to get to it, and they explore and they expand. And this is just one of those really free, loose, unraveling Yoda Littles that is just like, It's like a really beautiful carpet, like a tapestry in which the middle is still pretty concise and you can recognize it, but the ends are all frayed, you know, coming from a plane crash and going into another part of Spine of a Dog, which they finish up Spine of a Dog after a 28-minute Yoda Little. You get another verse chorus, you get an ending jam out of there, and that ending jam eventually takes you into Buster, the thing we were expecting how many minutes ago? Spine of a Dog started and finished. We finally get to Buster, this sort of expected follow up. 21, 40, 45, 48, 118, almost an hour and 25 minutes later, we finally get back to Buster and we get a nice 14-minute Buster that just like gives you what you want and wraps up the set incredibly well. It is just an awesome ride. It is an awesome series of segues. It is a band in absolutely top form. The encore, my one complaint, we get a Tijuana Donkey Show, which is just kind of a silly song about silly lyrics. I like the fact that the music's kind of slow and storytelling-ish, and I think it would be a better song if maybe the lyrics were a little better. There's a couple funny lines in there, but it's not one of those things you want to hear too much. And then finally, we get a New York City, which is a fantastic song. A nice little Irish tinge. Awesome words. Great sing-along song. But yeah, this is amazing. Like, if you're not a Mo fan, check this one out. This is the one to check out. Just amazing. Highly recommend this. Where would I rank this among the other Warts and All? Obviously, it's number one. It's at the top of the list. It is fantastic. I have nothing more to say other than you need to check this out. If you haven't checked out Mo, this is the one to check out. Volume 5. Like, the guitar solos, the playing, the band chemistry, the synchronization, the synergy, any word you want to use to praise improvisational jam band music, use it for this release. It's a fantastic release. Plus, it's got a number of songs that, like, just as a Mo fan, the epic guitar solo on Bring You Down, not always an epic guitar solo. The epic guitarness of She, George, which has not been officially released on an album. The segue fest of the entire second act. Yeah, just absolutely fantastic. So, yeah, that's all I got. Go listen to this. Please make your life that much better. Subscribe, like, share, comment. Do those things. And yeah, that's all I got for now. Thanks for watching. Peace. Talk to you later.